So the long-awaited well project here at Facility 15. So to sum it up, we've been trying to get a water system here since we started. A lot easier said than done, and I think it's cool to kind of document this project along the way of how to get water onto the track. It's been a long time in the making, from digging a little pond to finally committing to a well. And I think, like anything, to cut right to the point, I think, you know, it comes down to cost. So the well is a significant investment, but things have been pretty good here where we, you know, see the next step, and we feel like it's worth it. And if we want to continue the riding in the summer, we got to step our game up and do something like this. But it's quite the project. This is the first part, which is digging the well. We got these guys working here today. It's been a little bit of a hassle getting them to come here. And of course, we've joked about this for like 6 months of the day they come is going to be the day it rains. And, you know, we're digging for water and it's been pouring all day. But they're doing really great work for the most part. From what I see, they definitely know what they're doing. They're like a 4-generation family well company. So I say let's check it out and see what this process really is. All right, so we made it into the pit. Look at what we're working with. I'm telling you, if you spend enough time in this place to know that this place can take a lot of rain, and it's very rare that you see puddles here, but let's look at the fun stuff right here. So we have a 6-inch well. I believe they just stopped at like 85 feet, which they were really comfortable with. Now they hit, they want to hit a certain amount of quantity other than quality. So where it's just an irrigation well for the most part, and you're not drinking it, so the water doesn't have to be, you know, like perfectly clear. They're taking water, watering it back on the track, so it's pretty much just got to be good enough water to come out of the ground. It'll probably look pretty clear for the most part, but 6-inch well is pretty massive. We're hoping to get like 50 to 70 gallons a minute for the most part out of this. I think it'd be like a really good start, and we have a long way to go. Because once this is in, we've probably got a month or two of piping and see how we get like 4,000 feet around the whole place and make it make sense. But let's check it out. So that's the perforated pipe. That goes in, water rushes into that through the little holes. I'm no expert at this, but I'm learning it as I go. Water rushes into the pipe, 20 feet of perforated pipe. It's got gravel in it, so it's an art, honestly. These guys explain it the best. Well drilling is an art, and it's easy, but it's kind of complicated at the same time. Well casing, this is thick stuff. If you think about like a house well is like, I don't know, say 2 to 3 or 4 inch. 6 inches is a massive amount of water you're taking out of the ground. The permitting's pretty easy for this. It goes to the state, county, and town, and it's an irrigation well. It goes through pretty easy because you're not drinking it. You're literally taking water out of the ground and you're watering the track. So 6 inches is a lot of water that's going to run through that pipe. So it's the beginning. So if you look at where this is, we are on the observation deck, which favors one side of the pit more than the other. So we got the big track over here and the pit bike track right behind us. So look at the pit bike track real quick. I don't want to say this is pretty easy, but this is going to be pretty easy. The well is right here, the track's right here. This is a third of the size, a third of the size of what the big track is. So getting water to this, I'm not too worried about. It's minimal piping. Turn back around this way. Talk to 10 people, you're going to get 10 different answers on how to do it and how to run pipe and use this or this thickness or how you want pipe to go, above ground, underground. I've heard 50 different things. So we're not experts, but we're learning it as we go. I can't say that enough. Just learning it as you go, slowly educating yourself, I think it's like a huge point of this. So, you know, I don't know how long this will take to get done, but the whole property is 60 acres. Now the pit, when I call it the pit, where the tracks are within here, I think it's only like 15 of the 60 acres. It's mostly woods, but getting water to 15 acres with a lot of trees and elevation in the mix here is going to be a hell of a project. So I guess you could say we're looking forward to it. We got a lot of work out of us. So Boss Man just said we are at around 80 feet, which is probably a pretty good spot to stop. They know way better than me. I think my house well is at like 180, so probably 2,000 feet from each other, but it's not apples to apples. They're two different kinds of wells, 2,000 feet from each other. So they're done there. The idea with this little shed thing right here, I found this on Facebook Marketplace, which is like pretty funny. I find a lot of things on there. Got it for like 170 bucks. So basically when I'm done, I'll call this like the well house. Take this, I'm gonna put it up and over this pipe right here. We'll have some kind of manifold. Another thing I did leave out, we don't have power back here. We're not going to run power out here. It's kind of too far and would be a lot of money. Maybe one day, we'll see how it goes. But I have a big generator that I just got brand new. It's like a 12,500 watt, 50 amp. This well needs to be able to plug into a 220, so it's the right kind of generator for the job. But it's going to be crazy running this off a generator, but hey, it works, right?
Ish.
What?
Yeah. Just
All
look.
down?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like a fossil at that point,
It happens
30
all
feet
the
down.
time.
Really?
Oh, really?
From just like a long time ago? This part I'm interested
Really
in.
long
time ago.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah. Basically it's saying, let me see that real quick.
I'll throw it away.
30 feet down there was wood, and he says that that was from God only knows how long ago. Now, did somebody bury this wood? No. It could just be that old and preserved. Almost like a fossil at that point. I find that stuff pretty cool, but most people think it's boring. Interesting.
I'll throw that out.
All right, keep it.
It's for James Baldwin's kids.
Yeah, he'd love
They
it.
thought it was going to be
Yeah.
topics.
One down, probably like 20 more of those bags to go. I guess that just goes down. I don't really know.
Well, that guy, you know it does because the water comes out. The sand's displaced in the water.
That's going down 80 feet, like right next to the cast? Or
Well,
right next to, like how does that?
Screen.
Yeah.
It goes down the outside of the hole, tacks up along the screen, and it displaces the water, so that's how it comes out the side.
Huh. Dude, you got some balls coming in that car. You'll get out. We'll figure it out. So PJ is on the same line as quite a few people that are close to me have been in my ear to get back on the YouTube stuff, but YouTube stuff's very time consuming. So you need help from a great guy like Kenny, like himself. So without him, these videos wouldn't be put back out. We have great content, but you know, it's a job in itself. So we thank you behind the camera.
I'm going to re-lift this again.
I have to bring that generator back in here in a day, tomorrow, because he says it sounds like he's going to come back out tomorrow.
Yeah, Wednesday latest, but you'll have it all set, pumped and everything in Wednesday.
All right. So what's coming out of that hose? Just water?
Bentonite.
So that'll firm up. It's like a concrete, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. So from this machine up here, they got this hose running down, and they're putting bentonite in it, which is basically a cast that's going to firm it up all together. So again, can't say it enough. Learn it as I go, and it's an interesting process watching these guys. All right, just stood out there with them for 2 hours, so they got a lot of work done. It sounds like they have to come back in a day or two, probably tomorrow it sounds like, and then he'll bring back the pump, and then after the pump is on, it looks like we'll have water. I got to bring a generator out, we'll do some kind of water test, and then that's where the real work begins for us. So the first phase is what he's doing, which is the initial well. It's great, but water out of the ground is one thing. Water to different points of 15 acres is a whole nother project. So that's what we have to look forward to. But all in all in a year's worth of work, probably. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So we got a lot to learn with it. All right, 2 days later, it's Wednesday now. These guys are back out here finishing up today. They just did a water test. I'm thinking that they're confirming around like 50 gallons a minute, which is pretty good. To my understanding, I think it's pretty good. They're not worried about it at all. They say it's plenty of enough of what we need. They're telling me that it's all in the pump, which is nothing I haven't heard in the past. So we have a really good pump. I'll show you guys in a second. So we don't have power down here. We have a generator that's going to be running the electric for the pump. So he was just wiring it up, one of the guys just now. So I got a brand new generator. So this is what it takes. I guess we're gonna have to get pretty creative on this setup, and we're gonna see water coming out of the ground today from the generator, finished product. But then the work starts, obviously all the piping, but let's go check it out. So this stuff right here, my cousin is building a house. Well, he's finished with it now. It was their city water line that he gave me. This is 2-inch poly pipe. I've never personally worked with it before. Like I have, but not this thick. But if you take this stuff from everybody that tells me this is very difficult to work with because it's so tough, I guess. So with it being like that tough, I think a 2-inch, I'm not saying I'm gonna use 2-inch the entire time. Maybe will, maybe won't, but hey, I'm sure I'll use it at some point. It's probably 300 feet, so I'll probably use it. So I think the idea is to run as much as we can underground. I'm sure there'll be some parts of the pipe that's above ground. It's a very, very, very tricky layout here. There's a lot of elevation for New Jersey, a lot of trees and a lot of obstacles. So this water setup's gonna be like very unique in its own way. All right, this was our temporary setup for the last year. In this pit, anyone that's watched this video that has rode in this pit before always knows this was a wet section where the pit bike track is. So this hole everybody thought was like really, really deep. It was never as deep as people thought it was. I redug it. This pond's like 5 feet now, but the water has to go somewhere. So nothing feeds this pond but rainwater. There's probably like 20,000 gallons in here. So I got this Yamaha pump. This thing is badass, and 4-inch line runs in. It's got like a cage on the end. It sucks it out. And the pressure is awesome. Look at this hose right here. We got like 300-foot lines, and it's fantastic for this track, which is the pit bike track. But this track's like 25% of the size as the big track or less. That's literally could be like 5 times the size. So watering this is easy off the pond, but I don't have enough footage or whatever to run to do the big track. So really the well is nothing more but to be able to water the entire place straight out of the ground. And I kind of want to get rid of this setup because there's no sense to like pump to that, then to pump out of that. If I could pull straight out of the ground, I think that's the route I'm leaning towards. This is our pit bike bridge. Not that we're on a bridge video, but we're over here right now. So this bridge was a massive project. There's another video on my YouTube channel of how I did it last year. It came out fantastic, but the only thing I don't like now, if you look here, see how the dirt falls from the sides? These blocks are cheap enough. They were literally $45 per block. I mean, it's junk concrete in my opinion, but it gets a job done. So at the end of the year, I want to buy more block. I think I got to go 4 or 5 high, bring it 2 out, and I want to be able to hold the dirt in because I lost a lot of the width of this bridge from like the higher you go with dirt, the skinnier it's going to get. So if you have something holding it in, that width will stay the width the whole time. So it's really cool, but it's a little bit ghetto right now in my opinion.
That heavy, that thing?
What's that?
Is it heavy?
The pump?
This? Well, yes. You know, consider it pulling it straight up out of the ground. This is designed to pull 10,000 pounds. About 10,000 pounds.
Right.
That cable.
Be able to set the pipe and everything and have it straight, you know,
Yeah.
vertical pull.
We don't got hard hats. Oh, there it goes. Now you see, for the most part, why these cost so much money, wells. Even though they do it in like a day or two, you're not really paying for the day or two. You're paying for God only knows how much the drilling truck was. Whatever the heck kind of crane this is, I've never seen. This is what you pay for. This is what we don't have. You think you could do this stuff on your own until it comes time to it, and it ain't gonna come out like calling someone that's professional that does it. Our facility here, Facility 15, we're club memberships. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of people know at this point, but a lot of people don't know. James right here, he's been probably our longest club member since being open, probably 3 or 4 years straight. He brings these two little guys every week. They don't miss a Wednesday. Now Jack's his little guy. He gets around the track all on his own. And Colton right here at one point was in Jack's shoes, and now they're rippers every single week. And then Dad puts in motos right here.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. He started coming on the stay sick, really.
Yeah.
One day he was like, "Can I come ride with you?" And I was like, you know, I don't know. Long story short, he just been coming to me ever since then. Never left him home after that.
Yes, sir.
So it's been like 3 years.
Here he comes in a second. Flip around. Ready? Wait for it. Yeah. That's pretty tall. That's a 20-foot gap.
Ooh, that rain.
Yeah, the rain rut's crazy.
Yeah, he went fast through there.
Yeah,
And he almost cleared that tabletop.
I know.
It's funny. We were just saying like, you know, sometimes he's not into it, and then all of a sudden he started going fast.
Doesn't he have a YouTube channel?
Oh yeah. Colton, what's your YouTube name? What's your YouTube channel called? I don't know. It's Colton James.
Colton James.
He's making big bucks now. He got over 1,000 subscribers. I think he made $15 this month.
Yeah.
So you could a couple months you could afford some new goggles.
All right, we're finishing up phase 1. Pumps going on today. We're gonna test the electric here shortly. And after that, I think our next video will be probably our first main zone that's gonna run out. We're gonna do like a water test of one part of the track. So stay tuned for the upcoming video after this for the water to see how the first part goes. But I'll try to get a clip by the end of the day here how this goes. And we'll see water coming out of the ground, which is a huge deal for us, where it's coming out of the ground, being ran off the generator, the pump's running at the same time, so it'll be the real deal. Big step for us, and a long way to go, but we're headed in the right direction. Thanks for watching.